And there we go. Okay, cool. So welcome to our trader interviews. So
Thank
me and
you.
Darren really wanted to get you on because he told me a little bit about your, how you got into power in the first place, and he
Mm,
told me that you originally had your application denied,
correct.
and then you had to chase Darren a little bit in the emails, and eventually persuaded him to give you a chance. And I believe
Correct.
your son is also part of Power as well. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was a member before myself, and this is where my history with regards to this sort of stuff. I mean, I'm, as you can tell, um, of the 70s and 60s to 70s and 80s, of course. So back in the Thatcher days when everything was getting deregulated around the financial side of things, and that I was in the midst of all of that at the time.
Hmm.
I'm in a computer business, but all of that sort of thing was happening around me and in the banks. So I saw it very clearly, and I'd always was interested in it, but I got caught up in IT, so I've been doing that for a long time. But my son has been doing it, and therefore he introduced me to it and said, look, you may want to get involved. But of course, doing that meant that I had to go through that process, and so I had to go persuade him, Darren, that it was a good bet.
So what were your words? So what did you do to persuade him? Like what was the reasoning?
The reason my reasoning really was that again, as I said earlier, I've been interested in this field all the time. It's something that I never knew actually how to get involved in it. As you say, at the time when it was all kicking off, it was very regulated, and then it was starting to be deregulated
Hmm.
as we went on. But again, everybody was saying you can't get in that business; it's a closed shop, and all that sort of stuff. I dabbled in shares and things like that, of course, when the banks were all being, or the building societies, when they were all being put into public hands and stuff as well. But
Hmm.
it was always something that interested me. So it was more than anything else of getting a bit of a my son, I think, also supported that the application as well. So I think that probably towed it slightly in the right direction at the end.
Okay, cool.
So that was good.
So from what I understand, like from what Darren's told me anyway, is that you're a complete like beginner,
Novice.
like complete newbie,
Correct.
never traded before,
Absolutely. Correct.
never traded at all in
Yep.
terms of Forex. Like that's
Correct.
actually insane. Like to have someone go from complete beginner and complete newbie and like still manage to make it work.
Yep.
Well, one, it says a lot about you, but probably also says a lot about Power as well, about how, you know,
Oh, absolutely.
we've made the process, even though,
Mm.
there is a lot of like stuff to learn at first, and you have to go through the education process, and, it takes time to get set up, and it's not going to happen overnight. But from what I understand, you've been really persistent.
Yeah. It's been exactly a year. Well, a year in October, I think it was. So I'm into the 14th month now. When I started, of course, I invested into the POW, and I went through all the educational bits, did all of that.
Hmm.
And therefore very quickly thought I knew what I was doing,
Hmm.
and very quickly found out I didn't.
Yeah.
So I've gone to the brink, really, in the sense of, why isn't this working for me? I
Yeah.
don't understand
Hmm.
the how or why it's not working. So I went through all the educational piece, and therefore I went straight for the prop firms, and all of that sort of thing.
Hmm.
I did all the testing, and the testing was brilliant. And then
Yeah.
I thought, wow, put that straight into a prop firm, and of
Yeah.
course, bang, you're in your EP straight away, and
Yeah.
you're going, what the hell's going on here, and all of that sort of thing. So I lost a couple of prop firms, which really upset me, because of course they were the HFT ones at the time,
Yeah.
and they were costing a fair amount of money.
Hmm.
And of course I was on the subscription piece with Power as well. So there was a lot of money being invested into this,
Yeah.
uh, and absolutely nothing coming out the other end.
Uh-huh.
So there was, you do get to a point where you think to yourself, is this for me or is this not? And
Yeah.
what turned it around for me was the coaching. the one-on-one coaching with I forget his name now.
John.
Um, and
John.
I had about an hour session with him,
Yeah.
and that completely turned it around. And
Nice.
it just and he, I think if he may not remember it, but if you ask him, he probably said that I probably come to the call already knowing what the problem was.
Yeah.
And therefore it was just talking it through, realized exactly what my problems were with it, is that I was going too fast and you
Mm-hmm.
needed to just start back. So what I did was basically start right back at the beginning. And
Yeah.
I went right through all the training again,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Did all of that again from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided, well, I'm not going to invest any prop firm money. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to go into that situation. And
Yeah.
I just created a portfolio, and I've got 3 or 4 now of portfolios that I like,
Mm-hmm.
and suits my mentality, which is I like low drawdown, and I like quick return. Go figure.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
So yeah, so very much in the sense of I have a lot of strategies running, and which basically allow for quick returns. So very small, 0.1, 0.01 to whatever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
small incremental return, and
Yeah.
that's therefore now I get that nice curve. And if I am in a drawdown in any specific set,
Yeah.
then I can absorb that with the rest, because I've got probably 20 or 30 sets running
Yeah.
running in the strategies. And again, looking at other and looking at all the rest of the colleagues in POW and what they're doing all through that, and diversifying and not having different sets that were competing against each other and therefore causing more problems.
Mm-hmm.
You've got then a set, and I was running those probably for 3 or 4 months before I decided, you know what, I'll go back into the prop firms, and I was getting now a nice even return. So the worst
That's
time for
key.
me was around July time, was when
Yeah.
everything went, and I had even had a copy trade going on at the time with Darren's copy trade, and around
Yeah.
July, August time, it was really it broke out really badly.
Yeah. In the
And
summer was quite volatile, right?
yeah, and so we lost I lost a bit of money there, and that really just made me think, if I'm going to do this, I need to just get it into my comfort zone,
Yeah.
and be very prepared to do that. So yeah, we're going in the right direction.
Great stuff.
Currently, we've had a good month in November, December. We're just in a bit of drawdown around Canadian dollar,
Mm-hmm.
which is doing some weird things at the moment.
Yeah.
But in essence, I can cover that, and I'm maintaining and managing that, which is something that in the past I wouldn't have been able to do. I would have been, woke up in the morning, I would have busted an account and not
Yeah.
known, at
I
2 o'clock in the
think
morning it had just gone.
I think the key thing to like take away from that, fair play for persisting and being able to kind of reach out to John in the first place. Some people just like suffer in
Mm,
silence and kind of expect it to change or just quit altogether. But
mm,
reaching out and actually asking for help is a big step. And a lot
mm,
of times, like a lot of the people that I have on these like trader interviews, they say the same thing. Like things changed for me when I slowed down. Like I started way too fast. I thought it was, make my portfolio, whack it straight on a live account, and all of a sudden you get brought back down to reality because you hit an EP or you take a loss, and you're like, why? Why has that happened? But once you start to slow down and you actually build your data first, what that does is it builds your confidence, and then once you
mhm,
have confidence in your approach, then you're able to copy over to prop firm accounts and live accounts and so on and so on. But until you actually do that, it's going to be a struggle. And that's one
mm,
of the key things that like I try and tell people all the time, whether it's on the live Q&As or, constantly talking to people inside POW in the chats and that, but like run your portfolios on demo accounts first and just build your data. Like that is the absolute key to long-term success. And
mm,
if you skip that, you will always have to come back to it.
mm,
You're never able to skip that and fast forward the learning curve, and it's
mm.
just part and parcel of the approach. But so one thing I want to ask is like, if nothing had changed, where do you currently think you'd be?
I wouldn't be doing it. No,
You
if
wouldn't
it,
be
if it
doing
hadn't changed, and if it wasn't for PAL, I mean, credit where credit's due. You've got the portfolio finder, you've got the EA, and the community where, for example, the one trade stuff that's going on at the moment, that's
crazy, isn't
quite exciting,
it?
and that's being developed by the community, not just by Darren and yourself.
Yeah,
Who are all jumping in and having their 10 pennies worth. But
yeah,
so that's all really interesting. I think you have to filter some of it out. Of course, there's always
hmm
someone thinks they've got the eureka moment, and that's how it's going to work, and you just need to go and test it yourself.
yeah,
And therefore, I think the community, all of the training material, and the Q&As and stuff like that, they're all really, really useful, and help and support. But that coaching was the basic, probably basically the key piece,
was the
that
game
just
changer.
confirmed exactly what I knew I needed to do. And sometimes you just need someone else to tell you,
I was just
slow
going to
down
say
and go
that.
back. Yeah,
You
you
need,
know,
it always
uh,
takes, like, I always find this, like, even without trading or whatever it may be, like, it always takes someone else to tell you, like, you know, you already know the answer, but when someone else
mm,
tells you, it's like, okay, now I'll listen.
mm.
Whereas with yourself, you're
Well,
like
you
fighting
need
it.
to tell my wife that then, because I
Yeah,
keep telling her, she never listens to me.
that's funny. Okay, so like being inside PAL, what tools have you focused on the most? Have you used Banker EA or Red Alert, or is it just
I use them all. Red Alert. Well, saying that, I need to update Red Alert. I've been busy and been away for a week or so, so I haven't been doing Red Alert for probably, well, it's expired now, so I need to just put the new ones back on. And
Yeah.
I've been retesting that.
Hmm.
And I've got some more sets that I've now inputted on Red Alert. So I do Red Alert, but I don't. I've been playing with Red Alert since May, but I don't put that anywhere near anything at the moment. I'm still
Okay.
messing around with it,
Yeah.
trying to understand. And the reason for that is that it's the way that it works.
Yeah.
I can see that,
Mm.
but am I comfortable to
Yeah.
have that sort of risk against an
Yeah.
account? And that's something I need to do. But of course, through a copier, I can de-risk it to whatever I want to.
Yeah.
If I want to just do it as 10% of whatever it's doing, because
Hmm.
that's fine. So I can do whatever I want with it, but I haven't done anything in the context of utilizing it. I've been testing it, and I'm redoing the portfolio on that at the moment. So
Yeah.
that's what I've done. I've also got your edge
Yeah.
that I've been
Okay.
messing around with, but again, I can't I can't get that to where I want it to be. I think I need to focus a little bit on that. My main focus is the Red Alert and the EA, and the EA, of course, is the one that I've got all my portfolios running under. So I've
Great.
got mixed trades, I've got small in and out trades, I've got a
Yeah.
single one trade, which I haven't got against anything. I'm still testing,
Hmm.
but that seems to be going in the right direction as well. So I might start to put that against probably a prop firm. And of
Great.
course, all of that goes through Darwin X as well. So
Yeah.
I've got they've just awarded me another 30,000, so I'm 60,000 now on Darwin
Great.
X.
Amazing.
So I'm really chuffed about that, because I was on that earlier and I
Yeah.
completely bust that, and I
Yeah.
just thought, well, I'll just go back into it. Now I've spent this 6 months probably
Yeah.
retesting and evaluating what I'm doing and getting to a comfortable position of,
Hmm.
of what I'm doing. I'm still, it's still, you still get the breakouts, you still get that drawdown, you still got to
Yeah.
be focused on mitigating those at times, and having to take a bit of a loss occasionally to get yourself out of a position which can cause you a bit of pain.
Yeah.
But all in all,
Process.
I first payout last month was $1,600. So
Legend.
happy
That's
days to me.
unbelievable. That's what I was just about to ask. So like we've gone through the struggles, we've gone through the journey, and now we're at a position where we're starting to see success.
Mm,
Success can be measured in different ways. It's not just about like payouts and stuff. Like
mm,
success for me is being able to feel comfortable with my portfolios, being able to build that confidence. Like that for me is success as well. And being in a
mm,
place where you feel calm, you feel peaceful in terms of your trading. It's not causing you like emotional ups and downs. Like when you're going through the emotional roller coaster at first, like that's very, very difficult. And if you can get through that, that for me is
Mm,
a measure of success as well. But like
mm.
you said that you've had you're now getting your payouts underway. Is that your first
Yeah.
payout?
So, well, I've got a live fund, so that paid out. I've got a live fund which I drew on for the first time, so it made profit, and I drew on that. I've got an FTMO account which is in its first stage, so therefore I need to get it to 10 grand. And that's at about 6 or 7 at the moment. So, and then the stage two will be then the 5, and then I'll get the payouts. But Darwin X is all part of that same. As I say, I do everything through the social trader tool to copy trade what I need off my portfolio, and that's going quite well as well. So as I say, that's the second month. So the first month we got 30, and then they've allocated another 30. So yeah, they just seem to be going quite well. You're still emotional, of course, at times, and
Yeah,
therefore you just need to just keep a lid on that. But it
yeah,
is, you can't back the market. You just got to watch it and understand it and mitigate the risk as best you possibly can. You do get carried away sometimes, and you think, oh well, I'll up the risk factor a little bit because I can get a bit more money, and then
yeah,
you get bitten in the backside pretty quick on
yeah.
that, and you think, okay,
Always
I
brings
knew
you back.
that, always knew it. Why do I do
Always.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the hardest thing, like about trading. Like, for me at the beginning, that was the most difficult thing. Is like that
mm,
voice in your head that tells you, "Oh, what if I just push it up a little bit further?" Or "What if I increase
mm,
my risk by like X, Y, Z?" And
mm.
every single time, without fail,
You get bitten.
you get brought back down to reality, and then you learn your lesson, and you do it again,
Yeah,
until you get to a point where you've done it so many times that you're like, I'm never gonna go there again. That's it.
yeah,
Done."
exactly right. So yeah, I know I did that, and although it worked right for a month, and then I got into a breakout in Canadian dollar and Swiss franc,
Uh-huh.
and I'm still in that situation. But I
Yes.
am slowly but surely pulling out of that because I'm still making profits on a daily basis, and
Yeah.
therefore I'm using that profit to
Mhm.
close some of those accounts, some of those trades down,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I just want to make sure that I'm not in a loss. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure I'm even Stevens,
Yeah.
and I'm getting close to that. So December won't be a good payout, but
Yeah.
that's fine. It's a live fund, so I'm not going to risk the live
Yeah.
fund.
Yeah. It's all part and parcel. So it sounds really good actually. Like, again, inspirational to see someone that's like never even traded before, complete beginner, to come into POW, learn
Mm,
our process, go through all the struggle, the education, blah blah blah, and now get to a
mm,
stage where you're 6 or 7K up on an FTMO challenge, which I'm no doubt you'll pass soon. You're trading
yeah.
live funds. You've had a
Well,
payout last month of $1,600, and
mm,
you're 60K up on Darwin X as well, and building
yeah.
your track record. Because
Yeah.
that's what Darwin X is all about. It's
Yeah.
a long term game. So yeah, fantastic, great to hear. So if you could recommend PAL, what would it be? Like, if you could give me 3 reasons that of why you'd recommend PAL, what would they be?
The community, that seems really good. The educational tools, and all of the educational pieces that you've got there. You 3. Well, I'm going to say there's probably more than 3, and then the EA itself, and
Still
therefore
fun.
the portfolio. It goes without saying, and the portfolio builder, which does make life a lot easier if you want to. Like myself, I probably run 30 or 40 sets,
Yeah.
at really low drawdown, at really low, lot sizes and things like that.
Hmm.
You just want to make sure that you're not over egging it and things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I find that
Fantastic.
all of it is really useful.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, the portfolio builder is literally key to what we do. I think if you
Yeah.
took that away, it would be very, very difficult to get the results that we get. Um,
Yes, I agree. I mean, of course, Red Alert doesn't go through Portfolio Builder, and therefore you do it through the normal MT5 and
yeah,
things of that nature. But it's all the technology, it's the technology, the terminology,
Yeah.
And if you're coming in with it and never traded in your life, you just think, what the hell are you all talking about?
Yeah.
And it takes that takes quite a while to
Yeah.
understand.
I bet.
And probably I'm still probably not right where I should be on that, but keep listening to the community, keep listening to the Q&As if you can get on, because I'm busy,
Yeah.
and we go from there. But yeah, I'm
Love it.
looking to see that 2025
Yeah.
will start paying back what it owes me. And it owes me
100%.
a fair bit of money, and then that my idea and project is that I'll grow the life fund, and get to the point where when I retire in 6 years' time, I've got that as a backup to the pension funds that I have.
Love it. The thing that I love about this is like you're setting yourself up for success in 2025, but like this is literally just at the beginning. So the year or so that you've been in the group is to get to this part, and now
Mm-hmm.
you're at the beginning. So when you pass your FTMO and you're growing your life funds, like you can scale both of them together. And the key thing is like once you start getting payouts from FTMO as well, you can deposit back into your life funds, or you can just scale your prop firm capital and just keep building that pot. And that's where the magic
Exactly.
happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I'm a cynic with regards to prop firms. They always have an excuse why not to pay sometimes. So,
Yeah,
as
that's what
as I
it's.
see in some of the, and has happened to me. So,
Yeah,
let's get there,
yeah,
and get that first payout, which is key. And if I can cover my costs on that, then that's got to be a winner, isn't it? And then we'll go from there. But the whole point is, yeah, I want to return from my live fund
yeah,
on a monthly basis, but of course I need to grow that.
yeah,
And the only way you can really grow that is, one, leave some money in it, and
yeah.
two, is use prop firms to
Yeah,
give it that growth. Darwin X is just giving you reputation more than anything else. Although they pay out,
yeah.
it's not great sums of money,
Pocket
but
money.
it's better than a kick in the teeth.
The good thing about Darwin X is like it's a long term game. So like personally, I don't know where I'm going to be with Darwin X. Like I've got a good track record on there, but like you said, like it doesn't really pay me a lot. It kind of covers the subscription that you use.
Mm.
But I think the key thing is like after a year or 2 years or 3 years, if you've got some solid data and a track record, that is then you could then use that to attract other investors
Correct.
into your trading. And I think
Yeah.
that's where the power lies.
Yeah, and as you say, I'm not looking at Darwin X as a return of any investment or return of money because it doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah,
So what I'm looking at that is to just see if I can get myself a track record, if I can get to gold or whatever. If I've got one silver, I've got two silvers now. If I can
yeah,
continue to keep those, and then where we get, I don't know where we get to after that, and we'll see what they got to say for themselves, and if it gives me the confidence that
you can do
these
it.
sorts of organisations are recognising that what I'm doing is not bad.
Exactly,
So if it's not bad, then I can't be doing anything too wrong. I think
exactly.
that's probably the biggest thing is, well, they recognise it. I've got a ranking of 200 or something,
Nice.
so I
It's
can't. It's got to be reasonably good. Okay, I'm sure we're
that's
going to get
200
hit at
out
some
of
point.
like 8,000, right? It's about 8,000
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's unbelievable, mate.
So I'm well.
Fair
Yeah,
play.
that's probably made me more chuffed than anything else. Is
Yeah,
that
me too.
you can see it and you're thinking, oh well, I must be doing something right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, you really sound like you're on the right path, and I love it. I love to see it. I love to see the progress, and I look forward to seeing more of your success inside the group. But
Okay.
really appreciate you taking the time to jump on this today.
No
I
problems
believe
at all.
it will help a lot of people out there, and I'm just
I
going to
hope
click.
so because, as you say, the journey I've been on is probably similar to a majority of them, and it's just take your time.
It's just a time thing. It's a process, and that's all it is. So
Mm.
I'm just going to click to stop record.